Business is war. And for some reason, this is a controversial statement. Not really sure why. I think people just misinterpret the term business is war, that phrase, because a lot of people come into the industry, come into wanting to be entrepreneurs into the business world with the false sense of hope that it's going to be easy and it's going to be a smooth ride for everybody. And that's just not the case.
Do you think maybe they have that misconception of business is war because they got into business for the wrong reasons, maybe? Or they don't know why?
I think people get into business for the right reasons. They want to control their own income. They want to control their own future. They want to control their own time placement and all that stuff. They just come in with the false sense of what it actually takes to, first of all, get that business off the ground and running, and then to keep that business operating. Because as we know, it takes a lot more fucking work to start the business than it is to just show up for a 9 to 5.
I think social media they show off a lot of things that people are just like, they want the lifestyle, they don't want the hustle. They're like, they see all these people doing this stuff and they're like, I'd be cool. Yeah, dude, I want to control my time. I want to do this and I want to do that. If it is real, what they don't see is that person was probably in it at least 5 years before they seen anything. But 5 years of not just working like 4 hours a week, 5 years of actually putting in the grind. So that way when they go in business, it doesn't work after like 2 months, 3 months. They crumble like a little cookie. Yeah. Those graham crackers, there's it sucks, but that's what happens.
It's because like a lot of people who have a business, they don't want to show off like the grind in the beginning, because everybody has some sort of like embarrassment because they feel like since they started their own business, they should be up here at the top of the hill. They should be like, oh yeah, like I'm rolling in dough. But then it doesn't happen right away, and people like they're embarrassed because they're not starting their business off hot. So they kind of like crumble into that reality and that fear of showing other people what it actually takes.
What percentage do you think of it's people actually like they're embarrassed to show their family and friends because people are going to laugh at them, to the actual people that are hustling it and don't got time to show it off?
I think it's a lot more of the first one, that they're embarrassed.
Because there's a lot of people that we know that they don't have time to do it. Like me personally, if you don't see me posting on social media, I'm not just chilling.
Yeah.
If I'm not posting, it's because that's when we're busy. So if you see me posting a lot, it means we don't got shit to do.
That's why I haven't posted in the past 2 weeks. But I think it's the balance of that. Like when you're starting off, like you really don't know what it takes. So you're kind of just like shy at first. You're kind of just scared to put stuff out there in the world because you don't know if you're doing it right, and you're scared of what other people are going to say about you. And it's kind of like the misconception. Or not the misconception, just like what people miss out on. Like when you first start a business, is like you got to dive deep into it. You got to learn everything about the business, because that's how kind of I started. Like when I first started, like I didn't know anything about a camera. I didn't even know how to turn it on. I didn't know how to push record. I didn't know any of that stuff. So for the first probably solid 2 years, I dove deep into cameras. Like I lived, breathed, sweated, everything camera. I would wake up. I'd follow a bunch of creatives on social media. I'd watch all their YouTube videos to kind of learn everything about cameras. Because if I'm going into the camera industry, like where I'm using a camera, I feel like I need to be an expert in that. I can't just pretend to be someone that I'm not. So I dove deep into cameras, deep. And then I finally, I'll never say like I know everything, because there's, as you know, like this shit's always changing every year. But I got to a level where I felt very comfortable in using my gear, using like what I know to put it into practice. But then what I noticed is that I lacked the business side of it. Like I didn't really understand, like, I don't really know how to run a business. Like how should I do stuff? And then that's when I kind of switched my focus to learning more business stuff. And that's when I started following guys like Andy Frisella, more like Patrick David, more business-minded people to kind of help me through that. And I feel like that's what a lot of business owners or people who want to start their own business miss. Is like, first of all, they don't dive deep into what they're going to be in, like what business they're going to be in. And then if they do, they don't get to the next step and realize that they don't really know other aspects of the business. They're just focused on this, but they don't realize they also need to learn this. And they never pivot, learn something else, pivot, learn something else.
How'd you come to the realization of like, if I want to do this, I got to dive deep into it? How'd you come up with that? Because a lot of us, I think, when we go into business, we're like, oh yeah, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If you go into business in that industry, whatever you're doing, you're going in there because you think you're the best. Because you've seen somebody else do it, you're like, I can do this better. That's why you went into it. So now you're in it, and what makes you be like, I need to know more about this. I need to become an expert in it. Because there's a lot of, how Andy Elliott likes to say, there's a lot of amateurs, and then there's experts.
Mm-hmm. I think I feel like I just came to the realization that that's what I did now. But in the moment, I wasn't like, oh, I need to dive deep into this because I need to learn everything for my business. I was just curious about it. I guess my natural instincts. I was just curious about learning everything camera.
So how long did it take?
I was curious to like learn how they worked, how other camera brands did stuff, what makes a good video. Like, oh, lighting, you should worry about lighting. Oh, audio, don't fucking forget about audio. Oh, these mics are better than these mics. Oh, these lights are better than these mics. These cameras are amateur level. These cameras are more pro level. And it's just diving deep into it. And I think it was just my natural curiosity to want to learn everything, and then coming to that realization now that that's what I did, and that's what people need to do.
How you said dive deep. Dive deep is for you. For someone, it might be 30 minutes. For you, how deep was it, and how deep did you dive, and how long did it take you from like, I'm gonna do this, to where you said, I feel comfortable with this?
For me, dive deep means you actually get into the weeds of everything. I would wake up, like, obviously you do your morning routine and everything, but I'd jump on right away, like, okay, what are these people that I follow on social media, what are they doing? I'd watch hours of YouTube videos every single day. And it's not because I felt I had to, it's because I wanted to. So I'd go watch, see what they're doing, see what's working, more tips and tricks. And then I'd finally bought my own camera and started kind of going through that stuff. And it was just like nonstop. Like, I think my girlfriend got pretty annoyed. My girlfriend, now wife, got annoyed at me because I was just talking about cameras all fucking day long. But like, you got to be
how long did you do this for? Like,
I did it for like a solid 2 years.
Okay.
I don't think there was a day that went by that I didn't watch YouTube videos.
YouTube University.
And a lot of people would be like, oh, you're just wasting your time fucking watching videos. But it depends what you're watching it for. Because there's a lot of YouTube videos that'll teach you a lot of stuff. And if you spend the time to actually dive deep and learn about stuff, like, it'll be useful. And it's not a waste of time being on your phone. You actually use that time properly if you want to like actually learn stuff, and it's not wasted time, how other people might think. Yeah, and it was like a solid like 2 years of just nonstop, and I was just curious about it.
And that's the thing. A lot of business owners, when they start off, they're like, it's going to hit in the first couple months, it's going to do this. And sometimes because they went from working at a whatever industry you're at, that business, and you're like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. You know, I think I can do my own thing. The only problem is that you were just a sales guy. You were just the front desk person. So you're not seeing all behind the scenes what that business owner is doing, what he has to do, the stuff he has to order. You're not seeing this. You're like, I'll do this quick. I'll do this right away. And you go into business and you're just like, slap in the face.
Yeah.
Right away. Because you're like, oh, wait, I need to do that? Wait, I need to do that? I need to do this? Oh, wait, I'm not going to get paid this week or whatever because I got to cover XYZ things. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think I don't think business is for everyone. I used to think it was. I don't think it is for everybody. Like, there can be a lot of great people where you make a lot of money just being an intrapreneur, not an entrepreneur. Like, work inside of the business, you can make a lot of money.
It sounds nice saying, oh, I have my own business. But it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, yeah, because there's a difference. There's a different mindset, and that's why we love the podcast to have guests on here that are talking about their business, because I think they got your wires are a little crossed. You got to be a little crazy to doing the stuff you're doing, because sometimes you're doing a little extra stuff. On Sunday, guess what? You're probably doing some stuff. Saturday, you're probably doing some stuff, and you're like, oh, no, I don't work the weekends. I don't want to work the weekends. I want to have my own business, so I set my own hours, and I don't work the weekends.
It's a double-edged sword.
But you gotta be able to work the weekends if you want to grow this, to a certain level. And it depends. Some people, they just want to have it, solopreneurs, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 with 2-hour lunch and a couple breaks, and that's fine. But if you want to do more than that, you're gonna have to.
But to start a business, you're not gonna get far if you're just working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. To start a business, it takes a lot more effort than just that, because it's all about bringing value to your business. If you're only working 9 to 5 and you're servicing customers, how else are you researching ways to bring value to your customers? You gotta always try to bring value and just learn new ways to bring value.
There's 2 ways I think people can do it. You could do it yourself, like you said, put in the time and effort to research everything yourself, or you can hire somebody to do it. Whatever aspect. You need help in accounting, you need help in marketing, you need help in this, outsource it. You're like, oh shit, well that's a little bit more than I was thinking to spend. Okay, well you're gonna have to put the sweat equity and do it yourself. It sucks. You're gonna have to do it yourself.
Sweat equity is my favorite equity.
Should be everyone's favorite, but it's everyone's least favorite because you gotta put that extra time in there. But yeah, if you only have if you don't have that much options, like you got this option, there's this option. I think those are the only 2 options, because you're like, oh, I can hire people to do stuff. Cool, you need money to pay them. So it's either or. Either you hire somebody to do it or you do it yourself. Most likely when you're starting off, you got to do it yourself. And it's the weekends, the nights when you don't want to do the stuff, that's when you got to put in the work. If you're open 9 to 5, it's like, for example, if you have a brick and mortar and you're open 9 to 5, cool, you don't go home at 5 because now you got to input all the stuff in the systems that you were doing or order new stuff, whatever your product is, whatever you're doing. So you got to put a little bit extra time in there. But a lot of people are just like, they just like to bitch and complain about everything, why this is happening to them and stuff. It's like, made a post the other day. We're not victims. Like this is you chose this life. You want to do this. Now you're responsible for it. You wanted this. Like here it is. Mm-hmm. Everything you ever prayed for, here it is. And now you have it. And now you're bitching. Like, dude, come on.
Yeah. And all this is to say, like, we're not discouraging anybody from going into business. But if you do decide to go into business, just know what's in front of you. It's not going to be a nice, easy road. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, because I think everyone just says, oh, yeah, have your own business. Yeah. And no one actually tells you, like we say, business owners aren't very vulnerable about saying, like, actually, yeah, I ran into this. They just want to put up the, like, I'm a badass. I had no struggles. Like, yeah, they just want to put that face on. It's like, no, in reality, you're going to face some challenges. Like, if somebody told you, I mean, I probably would have done it anyways, but you would have thought twice about it. Like, going into business, they're like, you go into business, you're going to do X, Y, Z. You'd be like, oh, shit. You think about it a little bit more, or you at least prepare yourself a little bit more, educate yourself more. But if you don't know anything, you go into it, and then you do it, and you're like, this sucks. Everyone sucks. You get that negativity because you got that sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah. And I think that's just what. So if you're out there, if you're interested, if you want to go into business, all we're saying is just to be prepared.
Be prepared. Get a mentor. Follow someone. Ask them their struggles, what they've done before you dive deep into that field. Ask for help
and just keep learning.
Keep learning. Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe.